to start off, I want to start off with my greetings. One representing Kiribati, my homeland, and the other one, Fiji, also my homeland, which Kiribati, we say Maori, which means health. In Fiji, we say Mbula, or hi, or in other words, it means Mbula is life. And you can see how meaningful these greetings are to my people, and how whenever we wish that upon anybody, it means good things, right? And I wanted to start off with, I entitled this presentation as My Story and Its Future, because at the end of my presentation, I want to leave it to you to think of what kind of things can you help your community, and what I can also do to help my community be a better community for the future. And I come from 3 strong heritages that are full of life and culture, people whose faith and love has brought me here today and taught me to appreciate every little thing about life. But is this all there is to tell? I'm here proudly representing my 3 heritages, Ikiribati, Banaban, and Fijian. Also not forgetting my brothers and sisters in the Pacific region and those that are fighting for the survival of their way of life due to climate change. I pray and hope that their voices and concerns are echoed through. Something unique and precious about my culture is the connection that the people have with their land. It's our existence. Another yet most incredible thing about my people of the Pacific is their God-fearing nature and their attitude of gratitude in everything they've been blessed with. My story began with from the time my ancestors signed an agreement with a British phosphate company for the exclusive right to mine phosphate on Banaba, also known as Ocean Island, for 999 years for 50 pounds a year, starting from the 1900 to 1979, which thus resulted in stripping away 90% of the island's surface. What once was our home became nothing but buildings and torn up land, making the island nearly uninhabitable. My paternal grandpa, along with the majority of the natives, were relocated to an island 2,085 kilometers away to what would become their new home, Rambi in the Isles of Fiji. In 2006, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to go back and visit my ancestral home. Despite 27 years later, the island's surface was still in ruins. The people currently living on the island were still smiling as they celebrated the 15th of December, marking the first arrivals of our people on Rambi, and still trusting their motto that reads on their flag, Atuara Puokira, translating as, our God, help us. Fast forward 4 years later, there was a tsunami warning. The people of Kiribati, 6 meters, that is 19.69 feet above sea level at the time, panicked. The highest point on a low-lying level coral atoll were the coconut trees. I was in the middle of my 3rd period when a truck with a megaphone drove past our school announcing, there's a tsunami warning heading our way. Everyone is required to go home and be with their families. I looked at my Kiribati language teacher who was with us at the time and asked why we needed to go home when the school's buildings are taller than our open wall houses. As you can see, that was my high school in the picture, and that's what a typical Kiribati house is like. She looked at me and then replied, so that we can all die with our loved ones. Talk about a traumatic experience. There was fear, Whereabouts on the island can we run to shelter? We've never experienced a tsunami before to help better prepare us for the unexpected. For someone who grew up in Fiji with cyclones, hurricanes happening close to Christmas time or after New Year's, and flooding happening occasionally, I've become accustomed to those few natural disasters, which at the time have become a norm for a little island girl as myself. But not the tsunami on an island where palm trees are the most tallest things on it. Even though Fiji and Kiribati may differ geographically, the threats of livelihood due to climate change are still experienced. This picture right here is what people would see whenever they search about Fiji. That is indeed Fiji. However, this is also Fiji. This are for when we have heavy rainfalls, or like the rivers are overflowing and it would flood some of the major towns in Fiji. This is Kiribati, or Kiribati. For those of you that don't know where Kiribati is, I would suggest looking it up on a map. But this is what the pictures will show you. And this is also Kiribati. During king tides, the first picture on your left is a maternity ward that's just right by the edge of the water. Down where by the tree is a tall seawall. So we've actually built seawalls to protect us from king tides. However, not that long ago, we had the highest king tide that we've experienced, and it flooded the whole hospital in Kiribati, one of the small hospital. And then right next to you, right next to that is a picture of children having fun during floods, or like during king tide. And what usually happens whenever we get to have or we get to experience such effects. To continue, but we are not sinking, we are fighting. This, I just want to explain what this picture is about. They started a project about like, I believe it was like 8 years ago, or even before that, where they planted mangroves on the shoreline so that it'll help just hold the coastal, it'll prevent coastal erosion as one of the major effects that we experience in Kiribati. And as stewards of the land, it is our duty as an individual to play our part for a future that can still be beautiful, and hope for things which are not seen, which are true. I'd like to reiterate a message of hope that echoes the faith of my people, which is Sipusigon goy atuara, kawakinira al hairira, na hontaye kai maira. Translated as, we beseech your God to protect and lead us in the days to come. And as we stand united and defend the cause of freedom, onward march together. By utilizing and managing all resources, Heavenly Father provides for the glory and betterment of his creation. I hope that this somehow you're able to connect with my story, and that we'll be able to help better our environment and be able to provide a future for, not for us, but for our kids and for those that are coming after us. And thank you for joining us today, and hope you have a wonderful day.